Hi everyone, welcome for Table for Two. I'm the Elusive Bigfoot,
And I'm Onesie.
and inside of our series of doing all of the games review, talking about games that are in A to Z, today we are doing the letter T. So, Onesie,
Okay, you want me to go first?
do you want to go first?
I do want to go first.
Okay, why don't you go first?
Right, there's so many good tea games.
There are.
So many good tea games. The first one I want to talk about is Tekenu, Obelisk of the Sun.
Okay, that's on mine as well.
Okay, so duplication. Nice. Good taste, by the way.
Thank you.
So Tekenu, Obelisk of the Sun is themed in ancient Egypt. And the idea is you're getting dice, which are arranged around the obelisk, which is a large statue. And then you use those dice to perform actions around the board. 6 or 7 or actions.
Based on the number of pips.
Based on the number of pips. And what you can do with the dice and how you use the dice is based on whether they're in the shadow or in the light or in the in-between.
The neutral.
The twilight, I guess, or the neutral zone. Right? So this obelisk rotates around as the game is played. And so during one turn, you might be able to use the black dice for something in one area, but then in another turn, you can't because they're in the shadow or in the light. And in addition to using the dice to perform these actions around the board, you have to also balance out between the light and the shadow. So you can't do all light actions or all shadow actions, or your life will be out of balance, right?
Right, and that's a big deal in this game.
Yeah, and the people in the afterworld will be mad at you, and so you want to keep a balance. They actually have a little picture of a scale on your player board, and you can keep track of whether your life is in balance. And the actions you do, you can build statues to the gods. You can build temples. There's all kinds of things you can do around this board. And
it's based on the number of pips, right?
Based on the number
score.
of pips.
So I might have 2 dice that score 12 on the dark side, and on the light side, I got 4 other dice, and each has a 1. Well, 12 is definitely a lot more than 4. So
yeah, so the game,
I have to be careful.
The game is a heavy lift. There's a lot of components.
There are.
And a lot of rules to figure out. But once it's figured out, it's very fun to play and very challenging, because it's not clear who's going to win until the end, because there are various ways to score points. That's a thing I love about complicated games, is that you don't have to all do the same thing to get points. So you might concentrate on making statues, and I might concentrate on worshiping the gods, something like that. And so we're all getting our points somehow, and it's just a matter of how it all pans out at the end of the game. Although I think there's mid-game scoring in this.
There is mid-game scoring.
Yeah.
So one thing I really love about this game is that it acknowledges mythology, the Egyptian beliefs in the mythology, which is where the scales are coming in, and using a feather, as looking at the how the scale is balanced. Do you have too much of one side? You really are looking for a balance, and how it acknowledges the different gods in the Egyptian lore. I love that as well, as to what you're able to do. And make sure you pay for your workers. Your slaves need to eat bread, so always have enough bread.
Yeah, and so you mentioned the gods, and I mentioned doing the different actions. And the different actions you can do are actually named after those gods. So you can take an Osiris action, or you can take a Ra action, and sometimes you got to go back to the manual and look up what the heck is an Osiris action. Can I do that this turn?
Yeah.
But it's very fun to learn about all these Egyptian gods and wander around ancient Egypt, building temples and statues and feeding your workers and so on and so forth.
Very good.
That's a Tekenu, Obelisk of the Sun.
Okay. My game that I want to list right now is Takenoko.
Oh, that's on my list too.
Terrific. So, considering how many tea games we have, a lot of tea games. That's pretty amazing that we're matching. Takenoko is a great game where it's a combination of different things. You can either lay out tiles to match what the pattern says on your objective card, or you can grow bamboo in different sizes and different colors to match your objective card. Or maybe your objective is that the panda has to eat a certain amount of pink or yellow or green. And so you want to keep your eye on that. You roll a die. Based on that die, it'll tell you what type of action you're allowed to do. And then you want to just get a certain amount of cards completed, objective cards completed, and then whoever does that is considered to have the most beautiful garden, and then the emperor will reward you with an extra, I think it's 2 points or something, but then you add up all your points at the end of the game to see who actually won.
Yeah, and the thing I like about this too is just the look of the game. It has largish hex tiles. So on your turn, one of the things you can do is put out tiles and sort of make how the landscape or the garden looks.
But sometimes it has to be irrigated, so you have to be able to bring water into it.
And there's a gardener figurine you can move around to help grow the bamboo. And there's a panda figurine you can move around to help eat the bamboo. So those are different goals for depending on what cards you got. Like she mentioned, you might have a card that says, your panda needs to eat these certain kinds of bamboo, or your gardener needs to grow a pink bamboo that's 4 pieces tall. And you can actually stack up the little bamboo pieces to make these tall bamboo shoots. And it's a very fun game. It has a great table presence. It's sort of big, and you lay it out, and it's very beautiful.
Okay, that is Takanoko. Okay, what's your next one?
My next one is Tarji.
Is it really?
Yes.
I thought that was your number one.
It was close.
Okay.
It was so close.
All right.
So close. So close.
So close.
So, but with Tarji, it's a worker placement game, and it's also a card game. And you build your play area out of cards, and you place your workers out on this play area. And depending on the card that's at the intersection of your workers, you place your workers around the outside of the board, and then it connects to a card on the inside. You can take an action where those 2 points meet. And that mechanic really makes this game interesting. Thematically, what you're doing is you play a desert nomad, and you're trying to build your village or your tribe and your camp. And so you've got different kinds of camp cards, oasis cards, camel cards, camel riders, and you have to combine them in your personal camp in certain ways to get points. And you can also get points just by trading in resources. It's a resource collection game. It's a spending to buy stuff game, and blocking your opponent by where you put your piece on the board. So Tarji, it's strictly a 2-player game. No more than 2 players. And it's a lovely game.
Yeah.
Tarji.
I remember during the pandemic, you could not get this game. It was impossible to find. You could get the expansion, but you couldn't get this game. And then a couple of years after the pandemic, was lifted, they re-released it, and so then people were buying it. Such a fun game. One of my favorite things about it is the strategy of, like, you want to build, as you said, your camp, and you'll get points if you have cards in the same row that are all the same, have the same emblem on it, or if they're all different. So you're trying to figure out as you're going, what is the best play for me to do here? And how do I want to trade for things? So it's most points win, so you never know. Just because you're the first person to get to your full 5, I think it's a 5x5 grid, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. So kind of looking at that. Very good.
All right, so that's Tarji.
All right, my next game I want to talk about is 3 Cheers for Master.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I love that game. It was one of the first games that I ever bought as a new gamer. So that was like over 10 years ago. But still, the idea is that we're all in hell. And the devil is mad. He's not having a great day. So all of the little minions decide, wait, I have an idea, but it's not a great idea. Their idea is, let's build a pyramid, and then with our little pom-poms we'll go, yay, master. But the problem is they don't all get along. So every once in a while there's a big hairy fight, and then you have to take a look at, like, going down, up, side to side, who's going to eat whom, who's going to beat who up, and who's going to fall down. So every once in a while, I think there's 3 times before the master is here, you have to figure out which cards and where the pyramid is going to start to fall. You can take a token that you have and put it at the highest point, and you'll get to, I think it's double points for that one. But it's just, reading the flavor text on all the cards is just so much fun. Love this game.
There's a bit of take that in that.
There's definitely.
You don't have to just play cards on your own pyramid. You can also play cards on your opponent's pyramid.
And try to make it weaker.
It might cause their minions to die or die off or collapse or fall down. Or
to fall down. It's a cascading effect. So if this one is heavy, it'll crush the one that's below if it's got fragile bones. And if that one's gone, it's going to keep on going until there's a barrier, like a rod or something like that, a wall that will protect it. So you are looking at what can you do.
It's one of those games that's fun to be bad at. So you try to build this excellent cheerleader pyramid of minions.
Yay.
And it's going to fall apart.
Oh, yeah.
It's just going to fall apart.
You just know. There's no way to really build a safe one unless you go one row across, but you don't get points that way. You want to build it tall because it's a multiplier as well. So I agree that it is a game that's pretty fun to be bad at.
The master is not going to notice a one-level cheerleader squad.
No, we were trying to... Yay! Ta-da!
All right, 3 cheers for master.
Yeah.
So the next one on my list is Tang Garden.
That is my number 1.
All right, that's your number 1.
Yeah.
It wasn't my number 1, but boy, it's close. All right. Tang Garden is this beautiful game. You're putting together a diorama of a Chinese garden, and you put out
from the Tang Dynasty.
Yeah, you put out tiles with different kinds of landscape on them.
Right. You're matching it up like Carcassonne.
Yeah, so you can water tiles and gardens, and in addition to that, you're also placing characters out there, figures out there, and the figures will get points based on what they're looking at or what they're not looking at. In addition to the tiles being out in the garden, you can put bridges out there, and you can put horizon pieces around the edge of the board. And certain characters will want to look at certain things in the horizon. They want to see a bunch of pagodas, or they want to see a dragon.
Yeah, I think that the emperor wants to see the dragons, and the monk, because it's variable player powers. Sorry. This is variable player powers, and the monk wants to see the pagodas, or the empress does not want to see the lady who is the concubine for the emperor, so you have to face it in a different direction.
Or suffer not getting the points.
Suffer not getting the points, which would be really sad because some of these are worth some good points.
Right, and you can also basically get plants and fish to put them out. You'll get plants, or if you have matching...
Or trees.
And trees, yeah, there are beautiful...
bridges.
Beautiful little cardboard trees to put out, and bridges and pagodas. Or no, pavilions. Pavilions.
Yeah.
You can stand your character in a pavilion and have him look at what he needs to look at, or she. And yeah, Tang Garden is just beautiful. You put it together and then you don't want to put it away because it looks so great.
We always take a picture and share it, like, look, we're playing this game.
The game ends when you've put a certain number of tiles out and they're basically you don't have room to put too many more.
Yeah, when a certain amount of empty spaces is remaining, I think you go around one more time and that's it.
Yeah. And then you got to make sure you've placed everything where you want. And that one person you put out too early in the game is now not looking at the thing he wants to look at.
Yeah.
So you're sorry you put him out there early.
But there are abilities that you have that you can turn over, a certain lantern over, and then you might be able to move your character. So sometimes we're looking at it's like, is there room? Because once you place out a character, you take another character on. So you're looking like, is there a place that we are allowed to put a character? Because there's only so many things that you can do. There's little markings that are either on the bridges, on the pavilion. Where else are they on? They're on the bridges, the pavilion, and I think
various landscape.
Certain, yeah, there's only so many places you can put something out. And it's like, uh-oh, we're out of spaces. You can't move your character. Sorry.
Right, so Tang Garden.
Tang Garden. What is your number one?
My number one, in a different vein, is Tiny Epic Galaxies.
Of course it is. I love that game.
I love it too. So there's a whole series of games called Tiny Epic, right? It's Tiny Epic Kingdoms, Tiny Epic Galaxies, Tiny Epic Dungeon, right? This one particular game, Tiny Epic Galaxies, is one of my favorites. Just like the title says, it comes in a little tiny box, and man, you get a lot of games.
I think the box is like this big. I mean, it is really small.
So like a 6x4 box or something like that. And basically, you have your player board where you manage your resources, and it's kind of your home planet for your rockets. And then you have these cards, which are other planets you can go explore on your turn. You roll dice, and you use the die actions to go to planets, develop your culture.
Yeah, they have special faces on them.
Yeah, it's special dice. And you go around the planets and you try to conquer them or take control of them. And you get points for having the planets. And the first player, I think, to get to 21 points is the winner.
Oh, it triggers the end.
Triggers the end. There you
go. Because sometimes you can, some cards are worth 4 or 5 points, so you could be the winner even though you weren't the one to trigger the end.
But you start with only 2 spaceships and rolling 4 dice is the minimum number, right?
I think so.
And then as you develop your culture and explore planets, you can gain more dice and more rocket ships and do more stuff faster. You can do more stuff on a turn.
And get more resources.
And get more stuff. And so it's quite great. And there are expansions to this, which we'll go over in a different segment. But Tiny Epic Galaxies is just a lot of game in a little box. And if you love space games, this is a good one. They could have easily put this in a giant box and sold it for a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I think it works great as a tiny game.
When we got this early on, I think, in our board game hobby. And one thing that we liked about it is the ability for us to travel with it so easily. So we would take this to restaurants all the time because the lid is your dice tray. So it's just so convenient. It is a really fun game. We play it all the time. We haven't played it lately. We should play that out again. But it's, love it.
All right, so that's my number one, Tiny Epic Galaxies.
All right. So we would love to know, what is your number one game that begins with T? Let us know. Put it in the comments. And if this is the kind of content you like, you like this kind of video, please let us know. Like and subscribe. Helps us know what kind of things people are liking. All right?
All right.
So until next time, I'm Elusive Bigfoot.
And I'm Onezie.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.